Hey, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, all praise, honor, and glory is to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, and to all you brothers out there that's diligently continuing to labor in his work and pushing out this gospel in all truth, faith, and sincerity. Shalom. So yeah, just wanted to go into another quick lesson concerning the times and the seasons that we in, which is war. All right, obviously you see with these different nations jockeying for position and pretty much gearing up for World War III, but it's also the case on a spiritual level. Right now what you're witnessing is a spiritual war. That's why you see the momentum with the men of the Lord is going hard body at these so-called Christians with these philosophies and ideas and false doctrines that's contrary to this truth. And what's the weapon of choice that's being used? The scriptures, which the scriptures is compared to a sword. And can't anybody wield this sword or use this sword? You got to be skillful in it. And that's where the men of great millstone come in at. All right? Because we actually doing what? We defending the gospel. In this spiritual war, is it in vain? No. The whole objective is to gain the kingdom of heaven. We fighting for the kingdom of heaven. That's why when you read about previous kingdoms, the kingdoms of old, you had the Medo-Persian Empire to overthrow the kingdom that preceded them, the Babylonian Empire. Then you had Alexander the Greek and the Greeks to take down the Medo-Persian Empire. And they all did it by what? The act of war. And that's no different with the kingdom of heaven. The only difference is this is a spiritual war. All right? And we using these scriptures as the weapon of choice to defend the gospel and to ward off any oppositional force. And you can't use this sword or these scriptures unless the Most High give you the understanding of them. So you will be skilled in it. That's why it tells you a skillful man hear a wise word and add unto it. All right? So this is the book of Psalms chapter 94 and verse 14. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high because he have known my name. And then there's that name again. But the Lord said he's going to set him on high. And we all know that this is dealing with the kingdom. Ultimately, we're going to be set on high when we are joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. We're going to be ruling the planet. We're going to rule over the other nations with Yahweh Shai leading the charge. But that process of being set on high is taking place right now because that on high represents what? The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of these scriptures. Matter of fact, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 24 and verse 7. Wisdom is too high for a fool. He openeth not his mouth in the gate. So that on high actually represents this wisdom. That's the beginning process of us receiving the kingdom. All right? Which right now, we fighting for the kingdom. We fighting to take the kingdom. This is a war going on. All right? And this is not a physical war. We not looking to put hands on nobody. We don't have no standing army. Our weapon mainly is this sword, which is the scriptures. We also are equipped with the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of faith, the shield of faith, the breastplate of righteousness. And ultimately that sword is what we're using to take down our enemies. All those who oppose the knowledge and wisdom of the Most High, we bringing it into submission. All right? Matter of fact, let me get that. This is Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 12. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. So that's the weapon of choice. Right now, if you putting out videos, you going out on the highways and hedges, you going into these scriptures, you confounding those who come up against this word, you making response videos to these guys that look to debunk or discredit this truth, then that means you fighting this war. You fighting a valiant war. But you're using the scriptures as that weapon. Piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. And a perfect example of that was this guy G-Man. When he came up to the camp, the whole conversation switched gears to his sexuality. And a lot of people might have saw that and perceived it as carnal. But no, it was the Spirit of the Lord discerning his thoughts and the intents of his heart. You got this guy, Tony Harvin, inviting brothers, come on out to Newark, New Jersey, and I'm going to show you. See, this word is, exposing the intents of his heart. Even going back to casualties that we have taken out previous to now. With this guy, Brother Polite. He called the Crips and Bloods on us. That was discerner of his thoughts and exposing the intents of his heart. So that means we're skillfully wielding this sword. And again, you got to understand that this war is not in vain. Ultimately, the prize is the taking of the kingdom. All right? This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6. Starting at verse 20, therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. So when you go into this word and you are able to rightfully divide this word, meaning you are able to use this word or wield this sword or become skillful in this word or skillful in using this sword, then that's going to bring forth a kingdom. Again, you notice all the physical kingdoms that was taken down, it was taken down by the act of war. But this kingdom of heaven will be taken down in a spiritual war. And right now, we penetrating the enemy. We moving closer and closer to overthrowing the fort. All right? And we basically at that last stronghold, which is this Christianity. And when you go into Christianity, it's a so-called religion that's dominated worldwide. Verse 21, if your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore. Right, meaning learn how to skillfully use this sword on a spiritual level. Because you have people that they marvel at the fact that we have Bibles, yet we cursing people out. We got the Bible in our hand and we pretty much debating, even going as far as it could be perceived as arguing, you know, because that's what this sword is for. I mean, the scripture wouldn't be compared to a sword if it was meant to sit down and have peace. No, it was meant to do what we're doing, and we're doing it effectively. Why? Because the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua have made us equipped for war. You got to remember that the kingdom is the temple is the house of David, the 144,000, the house of David, which was warriors. But the Lord flipped it. All right? He flipped it into a spiritual war. It's the book of Psalms, 94th chapter and the 16th verse. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Meaning what? Who will go to war for me? And this is not talking about a physical war. Like I said, it's, if you can visualize it, we are starting to penetrate the enemy. We are advancing to the stronghold. We're advancing to overthrow to overthrow those who sitting on the throne right now. We making advancements. You know, if you watch these old, these ancient war movies, you might get somebody to overthrow the previous king. They might perform a coup, which is the overthrow of a government. Then they begin to penetrate behind the walls. They begin to make their way to the fortress. And in the process, they overthrowing the monuments. They overthrowing altars. Well, that's what you're witnessing right now on a spiritual level. See, the kingdom of heaven is actually likened unto a war. All right? Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 3, and ye shall overthrow their altars and break their pillars and burn their groves. And that's what you're seeing right now. And them groves represent these churches. So it says, and burn their groves with fire, and ye shall hew down their graven images, their powers, and destroy the names of them out of that place. And that's what we doing. We destroying that whole Jesus Christ and God, you know, that those names that you so-called Israelites been worshiping, that you people, everybody outside of the true knowledge and understanding these scriptures, anything that you into, we overthrowing that. We breaking your pillars. We burning your groves with fire. And again, is this on a physical level? Is we vandalizing churches and burning churches? No, we doing it by simply wielding this sword, which is this word of the Most High. Matter of fact, this is Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 29. Is not my word like as a fire, saith the Lord. And that's how we burning these groves down, with the word of the Lord, which can't be overthrown. You can't come up against this word. This the word of the Most High right here, man. This is not mere men. It tells you if this counsel be of men, it will come to naught. Is not my word like as a fire, saith the Lord, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces. So that's what we doing. And that's a violent act. That's not nothing that's going to be pretty, man. So what you witnessing right now is a spiritual war. And what's at stake? The kingdom of heaven, man. That's what we fighting for. That's what we wielding this sword for. That's why we taking down these strongholds. That's why we defending the gospel, debating our cause. Because we breaking down anything that's contrary to the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And the reward is going to be the kingdom. All right? So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Until the next time I say shalom.